Hello and welcome to another episode of Just in Time Worlds with your host Marie Mullaney. Today I want to discuss the Midkemian magic system by Raymond E. Feist. Now if you have not heard of Midkemia, it is the world created by Raymond E. Feist. It was one of the big series published in the 80s and I certainly grew up reading them and enjoyed them very much. Recently the movie rights to both Daughter of the Empire and the first 3 books in the Midkemia series has been acquired, and there is a TV series in the works. Please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. Okay, so I thought that if I'm going to do some lore review videos, I might as well start with this one. The Midkemian magic system, as we are introduced to in the first trilogy, I'm not speaking about the later books where we have Nakor and all of those complications, but in the first books, we are introduced to magic having 2 paths. On the one hand, there is lower path magic. This is the magic practiced on the world of Tragia, where we meet one of our MCs, Pug, who is a boy living in the Duchy of Cryde in the Kingdom of Isles. The low path magic is focused around item use and scroll use. You need something as the focal point for your power, and then you release your power through that item to enact your will, or through that scroll. So I would say that if I were to draw an equivalence, to me lower path magicians are very much like artificers from D&D, or it's that kind of style of magic. You prepare items, and then you use those items in order to focus your mind in order to release your magic. This kind of magic on the world of Tragia is taught by means of a master to apprentice relationship, and that is in fact how we meet Pug. He becomes an apprentice of the wizard Kulgan. Greater magic, on the other hand, does not require a focal item. Greater magic is internally focused, where you take your power and you force it on the world, not so much by means of a spell as by constructing in your mind what should happen and then making it a reality. Although that being said, many greater magicians also work with lower magic artifacts to focus and refine their magic. Greater magic is largely a lost art on the world where Pug comes from, but it is extensively practiced on the world of Kelewan, which is the world of Daughter of the Empire. And apparently the TV series will be both stories at the same time, which makes sense as Daughter of the Empire plays off at the same time as the events as detailed in Magician. Greater magic is not taught master to apprentice. Instead, there is an assembly of magicians on Kelewan, on the world of Kelewan, and they teach magic. Anybody who shows magical talent is immediately taken by the assembly of magicians. They are then indoctrinated into a thought process of putting Empire über alles, and they are trained in the use of their magic. Now, not all mages make it through the process of being trained for magic. If the assembly thinks that a mage should not complete their training because they would represent a risk to the empire, they kill him while he's in training. He's literally just drowned, put to sleep and drowned and done. So it's quite a brutal winnowing process to make it through the assembly. And the assembly wield enormous political power as well. They are considered to stand outside the law, and whatever they say is law. And that obviously gives them an immense power, but it gives it to each individual magician so they can work at cross purposes to each other, creating rather complex conflicts on Kelewan as this outside force influences the lords of Kelewan, the nobility, the temples, and it's a very intricate, delicate political system with a lot of tradition keeping it in check, and that tradition becoming strained is one of the main motivating forces of the ongoing conflict in the Daughter of the Empire series. So those were my thoughts on Raymond E. Feist's magic system. If you enjoyed this episode, please do hit the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see me cover any other specific world's lore, hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like me to cover. If you would like to join my community of world builders, links to the Discord server down below, and I will see you soon for another episode.